rocks are? I mean, it's kind of scary.
Yeah. So on Earth, we are very fortunate. We have an atmosphere. We have wind and we have rain. And so when we have rocks, and they get abraded by weathering, so we call it, through wind and rain, they tumble, and so all the sharp corners, if you break something and has sharp corners, all these sharp corners get rounded. And so the smaller you break it, and then the more you round it, that's great. On the moon, we don't have that. There's no atmosphere, there's no wind, there's no rain, and so every time a particle or a meteor that hits the surface and breaks a rock, it breaks into smaller and smaller pieces, but they're as sharp as little glass shards. And so that's what makes them so dangerous, because they're super sharp. If you breathe that in, they're going to slice up your lung. When they're on a spacesuit, they get into, because they're so fine, they get into like all the nooks and crannies, and makes it hard to move things. They can also potentially, start abrading the spacesuits. And so lunar dust is nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, the process that Juliana's talking about happens so fast on Earth too. Like volcanic ash that's coming out of a volcano is pretty similar in shape and nastiness for people. But within a year or two, it gets rounded, like she said. So, the soils on the moon are billions of years old, and it's still like that. So it's just a fundamental difference in the process.
Abigail wants to know about establishing a permanent base on the moon, and would like to know how will studying these rocks help us with that?
It'll come down to resources. I mean, and their instructors to just be the best geologists they could, because they only have a few hours, and 50 years later, we're still studying the rocks. And I think he has the vision to understand that. I think they have the vision to understand that. So they spent the extra time before the mission to really get the best or the second best plan, whether Jackson or collection of